Hiya. What's happening? AndyKapt20 with another video. Part 2 of the beginner's guide to the galaxy. Wrong video in it. Beginner's guide to having a swatch at this golf game. Figuring out what's actually going on and seeing if this is actually helping you in any way. Video yesterday was a wee introduction to the game, showing you just a wee bit around the kind of home screens, driving range, a wee bit about searching for a course, and also the downloadable what's something I've got to see the minute I hit the record button, man, my voice goes mental. Downloading these distance charts, right? So hopefully you've had a wee look at it and you can now see that the distance chart shows what your ball's like playing out of rough and what it's like playing out of sand. I've not done every scenario, right? I had about 50 shots into the rough and 50 shots into the sand traps. Done all different clubs, different speeds, different everything else. And what came out the majority of the time was your rough, what was it, 60 to 67% rough, and 85 I think it was, what did I do, 83 to 91% on bunkers, right? So there is going to be times you get different results. These were the averages and these were the more predominant figures I was getting when I was hitting shots into them. If you get a plugged ball in the bunker and it's, I don't know what, 73, 81, just deduct 10%. That's all you need to do, just take 10% off, it roughly works out, right? If you're in that situation, get better. That's it. Just make sure you don't do it again, right? If you're playing shots in the bunker all the time, you're playing shots in the rough, I wouldn't be, using a test guide like this as a bit of gospel. I'd begin having a look at my swing, making sure that you're not swinging off, you're not aiming off, or things like that. So, let's jump straight in. So, what we're going to do today is we're going to go in and search for a course. We're going to search for TPC Sawgrass. We're going to do 3 holes. I believe off the top of my head it's a par 4, par 5 and par 3 maybe, the first 3 holes, so that's going to be ideal. We're going to talk about the wind, we're going to talk about elevation, we're going to talk about club choice, we're going to talk about rollouts, we're going to talk about whiskey, which I've got belter, it's beautiful. One the night, I'm not an alcoholic baby, I just like a wee tipple before bed, something that makes me sleep. So yeah, let's go in. Right, home screen. Hopefully you've had to play about, you've went onto the training ground or the driving range, had to be shot, figuring out what the clubs actually do, how to get a bit better, that's what it's about. So, local match. This is where you're going to create your kind of offline, if you want to call it, match, right? And I've already been on and done Sawgrass, right? But this is your last course that you've played in this setting, that it will come up and show, right? But imagine it isn't Sawgrass. So we're going to go in and change course. And in here you've got a couple of options. Continue playing the one you've done, play again for any favourited or saved courses that you've got. So at the end of your course it will ask you if you want to favourite this course and rate it. So when you rate it, there'll be a rating that comes up, and which I'll show you in a wee second. If you favourite it, it will go in your play again section. That's where they live. HB official is your TPC courses, and the official HB put out courses, which are really good. Right, really good courses to play. So I would have a swatch of the HB official. We know that TPC Sawgrass is a HB official course, but we know we can go in there and find that, but we're not going to. Trending courses are the courses where, for instance, you'll get societies and guys that will play Opens, Players Championships, the Masters at Augusta and things like that. And they will use either the HB official courses, say Sawgrass for the Players Championship, or they will use one that's made up by somebody for the Augusta Masters Championship, right? And at that time of the year when that's out, that's where those guys will be in the trending section. But what we're doing is we're going into the more filters section. Inside more filters, you've got a ton of search options. You've got your favourite courses, your friends' favourite courses, you've got highly rated, trending courses, recently added, anything like that. First thing to do, top right. search button. So this is if maybe one of your pals or you've seen on one of your societies or one of your Facebook pages that somebody's actually done a course, right? And they've released it and you want to go in and search for it, this is what you do, right? So I don't think you can see the screen, me typing in this because it's the PlayStation, but magically appears. So I've just typed in Sawgrass, no need to do the full name, just something. And what you're going to get is 4 or 5 pages of people's renditions of Sawgrass, right? So, like that one there, right? One down the bottom left. That's obviously not Sawgrass. Well done, no. That was good. 9 plays in that, right? So if you have a wee look, let's just look at this one, right? So there's a person's name at the top left-hand corner. It's 18 holes. My God, what is up with this? And it's got 9 plays down the bottom. Nobody's rated that. But this one they have, right? So this has got 4 out of 5 stars, and it's got 56 plays on it, right? And you can see it's by F. Jomis 80 or whatever, right? So some of them are going to be absolute guff, right? Some of them are going to be ones where guys have maybe started and have published it by mistake, like that there. Like, it's got 116, but good, right? You might find the actual playability of the course is probably amazing, right? A lot of these have probably done very, very well for the actual playability, but aesthetically and how it looks, probably not, right? So this person's just done 1 hole. That's all it is, 1 hole, and it is TPC Sawgrass number 17. Obviously the famous hole. So they look as if they've done a decent job at it, and it's had 318 plays, right? So some of these are fine, but you get used to knowing what you're looking for, and it's on the last page we are going to be looking at. So 4,240 plays in that, 16,319, so we're getting a lot more. But also, HB Official is a name in the top left, done 969,407 plays, right, on this one. So this is one we're going for. Form 3/4 roughly out of 5. That's it, that's how we start the course. So you play format stroke, you can do different ones if you're in a party with people, you can do match play, you can do alternative shot, you can do skins, whatever it is. And you can change the course conditions in here, or things like that. So I'm going to change the wind in this, right? Wind speed is I'm going to put it to low, right? And there's a reason for that in just a wee minute. Don't know if I might hit done. Yeah, it's fine, okay. So we're going to go in and just hit create match. Done. Then brings you to this screen. So my wee guy might be obscuring that, but I'll try and move it if needs be. But I'll tell you anyway. So it's going to be the full course. It's going to be stroke play. It's going to be fairways are normal greens, medium green speed, time of the day is at default, weather's default, wind speed low, that would normally be default, and wind directions set at default. So we'll go over here. You can choose your tee boxes, right? I probably wouldn't advise going straight to black tees if this is your first couple of times of playing, because it does add quite a bit of yardage on, right? So if you're playing the beginners clubs, it's probably about 20 or 30 yards short of pro or masters clubs on your driver, so it can really add up. For now, we're just going to play red tees, 5,166 yards, simple. And pin set, my usual, is going to be 3. I like choosing 2 or 3 because 1 and 4 seem to be the ones that people focus on, and 2 and 3 are just kind of thrown. So I like 2 and 3, it's a wee bit more honest. Now I'm saying that folk are going to start putting 3, as if I'm that important. Anyway, right, so I've already been on this, but this is going to load up quite fast. Anyway, what I'm on tonight is Smokehead Single Malt. So I said Morrison's ages ago, and then about 2 weeks after it, he came up and said it was £20. And I'm like, hello. It comes in a cracking tin. It's all embossed. Single malt, very, very, very heavily peated. So if you don't like your kind of medicinal tasting or peated tasting whiskies, it's not for you, but I quite like it. But I do keep the wee cap, the wee bottle cap at the top. Don't know if you can see it. See, it's kind of gold embossed. Oh, it's nice. I like that. Okay, so now on the home screen, the T1. This is your screen that you instantly tee off on. So it tells you up here, hole 1, 338 yards, par 4, stroke index 11. Stroke index means the lower the number, the harder the hole. So if it's stroke index 1, it's the hardest hole on the course, and if it's stroke index 18, it's meant to be the easiest hole on the course. That doesn't mean to say that you're going to automatically score a good score on it. It just means it's more likely to get an easier, a better score on it. So use them if needs be. So this is 11, so we're kind of roughly in the middle. So it's not the hardest, but not the easiest. So you've then got your wind indicator in the middle, which is sitting at a right to left wind of roughly between fluctuating 3 to 4 mile per hour. Don't worry too much about the wind. There's really no theory about how the wind works. It's just based on experience that you know how much the wind affects or how much you should add on. The way I think about it, anything below 8 mile per hour is not really going to make much of an effect. You're maybe a wee nodule or two left or right. If you've got a headwind, meaning it is coming into you, straight into you, or a tailwind that's obviously behind you, if they're spot on straight, the rule of thumb from guys is that if it's 1 mile an hour headwind, then you're going to add on 1 mile an hour yardage. You're going to take 1 mile an hour yardage off, and if it's a tailwind of 1 mile an hour, you're going to add 1 yard extra. So if you've got a headwind of 10 miles per hour, you're going to know that it's going to take off roughly about 10 yards. So it's a 1-to-1 ratio. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, right? And that's on carry distance, not rollout, right? But bear in mind, if you're playing quite a lofty club, like a pitching wedge or your sand wedge, then if it comes down, if you think about golf, it's going to go up in the tail, and if it starts to flick up straight, it might drop a lot sharper, steeper, meaning that it's just going to drop in the green and you don't get any rollout. So use that. Just get used to it, right? So HUD settings up in the top right hand corner is for your showing you where you are. You're on the tee box, 100% exposed, right? So that's what the bunker play, right? And that is the values to show how much of the ball is actually exposed. So 100% of your ball in your tee box is exposed, and if it's in a bunker, which I've got here, 83 to 91, that's how much of the ball is exposed, between 83 and 91%. So obviously the lower the number that is, the more likely you're not going to get much control or spin or distance on it, right? Okay, so I'm just making sure we're all okay here. Just my computer's been freezing up a wee bit recently. Aye, we're fine. Okay. Right. So there's a carry distance, 257 yards carry. And we obviously know on the distance chart that on a landing on a green's 279 yards it's going to roll out. We're going to get more than that, so we've got a tailwind of 4 mile an hour. So we are hopefully going to get, it should be, in theory, 4 mile an hour more, but it's not. It's going to be a lot more, because the 4 mile an hour affects obviously the ball flight, which affects how long it's in the air, and then it affects when it comes down, right? So we are going to get more than that. So we just need to watch any overhang with the trees, and we need to make sure that this aiming circle, the aiming circle is going to be in the rough direction that where the ball's going to land, right? So if your ball is going to land there, but you've got a tailwind of 4 mile an hour, you need to think about that the ball's going to land just a wee bit further. So for instance, if you were wanting to land the ball here, the chances are that's going to land straight in that bunker, because the middle of that aiming circle is where the ball would land with 0 mile an hour and a standard 100% weight on your swing. You might get a wee bit more on your swing, you might get a bit less, whatever it is. So make sure that you're planning your rollout, you're planning your shots, and you're planning where it's going to go. This isn't Rory McIlroy. You can't put spin onto your driver and stop it dead in the middle of the fairway. So you've kind of got to be a wee bit savvy with your rollouts. Okay, so we're just going to play this. We've got a wee bit digging off to the left there, right? It's nothing major. You might want to put just a wee sprinkle of fade onto that, just to make sure that it stays straight, because of that 5 mile an hour just peeking off a wee bit, right? So we'll just play that. I've just put a wee touch of fade. That's all, just one click. We do an okay drive. So let's see where that goes. So we favoured the good side of the fairway. Excuse me. Right, so we took it 281. So you can see a couple more yards more than we said it would, right? And that was a relatively okay swing, right? So now what we're looking at is an approach into the green. This is where a yardage comes in, because we're playing into the green. We're playing into a bit of medium green, I think. So first things to look at, the wind, the yardage, and how far up it is, right? So let's go through them. Wind, 4 mile an hour, coming from behind us, so we need to take that into consideration. So, as I said, the wind itself, maybe we want to add 4 onto this. We'll think, maybe we want to take 4 away, sorry, we'll think about it, right? We'll think that it's going to be an extra 4. So, 66 yards, and it's up 4. Up 4 feet means it elevated, it's above your feet, right? So you need to compensate for that, meaning that you need to put extra club on. So the rule of thumb is that for every 3 feet that it's up, you add a yard. So you just divide it by 3. So 4 divided by 3 is obviously coming out at just over 1. So we're going to add a yard onto that. So it's 67 yards it plays, right? But we've also got the wind. So we need to make sure that that's your carry to the pin. So we need to make sure that carry and roll out adds to 67, but also with the wind is at 3 mile an hour. So let's take 3 off. So we need a ball to go about 64 yards, right? So let's look at our chart. So if we look at our chart, we can see that the gap wedge at a pitch will take us 64, but a roll out is 71. So that will land right at the pin, but it's going to roll out quite heavily, so that's no good. But if we look at the sand wedge at a pitch is a 59 and rolling out to 65, that's going to be ideal, right? So we're going to play that. So we're going to take it to our sand wedge, and it's a pitch shot which is already on, but let's say it was your normal, just square button, take it to pitch, right? Another wee thing to do is remember it's not going to be a straight green, so use your R2 and L2 button just to zoom in and have a wee look at the green, have a wee look and see what's happening, right? So I'm looking to see that green's running left to right, so what am I going to do? I'm just going to move slightly my aiming circle a wee bit to the left, meaning that when the ball lands, it's going to come round, right? I'm just going to play this, right? That's it. We'll see what happens. It's now changed to 5 mile an hour, so I think it might go out a wee foot or 2 past the green, but we'll see. Hoping we get a decent swing. Okay, wee bit more right than I'd hoped. And that stopped up quite fast, right? So there might have been a wee slope there that's just hit that ball and it stopped up. That's quite decent. Okay, now we're on the putting, right? There is videos out there. North 47 does a fantastic video. I know it's by somebody else, but I'm just going to say North 47 because that's the one I watched, who talks about counting the green patterns, right? And what that is you're going to be using angles of the lines, and you're going to assign a number there, and then you're going to count those numbers up, and it's going to tell you how many clicks to get left or right. It's a great tool to use. It's quite time consuming, but also when you're using the D-pad to click, sometimes your clicks don't just turn out as a wee click. Sometimes it can be a bit of a space, then a click, space, click. So it's not accurate. That is, but it's not for me because I've got fat thumbs. So I just tend to go on visual, right? So I come down to the worm cam and I do it by hitting the Y button. I'm using my R stick to just bring it down into the earth, and then I'm either zooming in with my R1 and R2, or I'm physically moving the joystick, right? The left joystick. I tend to zoom in because it keeps that quite straight, right? So we can see we've got a left to right. It's not too bad, but visualise the ball. What I say to people is, imagine this is like water. Imagine this is, you can actually see the water running, and if you were trying to cross that, or if the ball was crossing that, how much would the ball get affected? So don't just treat it like lines, treat it like a full blanket that's moving, right? So you can see that we're going to cross 2 boxes and it's moving very slightly. So I'm trying to visualise my ball moving, but you get used to the speed of them after a while, but for the start, visualise them moving, right? So if I was to hit my ball there, right, wait for this middle one to come round, I think that's going to be too much, right? So I think we're then going to hit the left side of the cup. So I'm just bringing it in just a wee bit more. Then you've got that further away one which is going quite fast. Right, so I'm just waiting for the other line to appear. So it's coming down now. Right, I think again just a wee bit more. I think that's probably going to be okay. But now I'm up looking at it, I'm thinking, I want to go back just a wee touch. Just because of that last line, I don't want to be caught out of that. So Now we've moved it, right? What I've done there just to take it back was R1 and R2. It's just if it will reset your distance if you've moved the left trigger, the left stick to move it in and out. It just moves your distance back. So if I take it away up here, which is further away for the hole, L1 takes me to my driver, and L2 takes me back to putter. It resets it, right? That's how you do that. It doesn't reset your aiming, it just resets distance. And what that's good for is you can see that we've got 8 foot to the pin. Don't know if you can see it with the sky, but in the middle of the screen, 8 foot to the pin, and it's up 1 inch. So what the marker does, the putting marker, tells you that it's actually 11 foot. That's roughly where it's playing at, and that's where it's going to be. So you can imagine the hole. That's where the hole would be if it was flat. Okay, and that's when we're going to hit. So we're going to take 11 foot. That's when it's going to be our distance. There's theories about pulling it back 1 second for every 10 foot. 2 seconds for 20 feet, 3 seconds. Just play it. Right? You'll get your distance. I know that roughly that's about 11 feet. Just made that, so we probably should have been more to the left. Right? So again, that's you getting used to it. I'll be straight up with you. I do get caught out with shorter putts a lot. A lot. That's the one thing that kills my game is these short putts. I don't give it enough. I find that I miss the cup on the low end, meaning that I've not given it enough of an angle. It breaks far too soon and it'll miss the hole that way, right? So it's a good example of a dog leg here. Par 2, 438 yards, par 5, and stroke index 15, right? So this is a great hole. Really, really, really like this hole. So par 5 means that we're going to hopefully be scoring a wee bit here, right? So we've got a headwind of 3 miles an hour, so it's going to take off roughly about 3 foot or 3 yards for our overall shot and driver. We've got our driver in hand. No, we've not. We've got 3 wood, sorry. But we take it to the driver. Let's just keep it there now. 257 yards. So realistically, we're probably going to be hitting bunker there, right? One thing to do is if you hit your O button, that's going to give you an overview of the hole. It doesn't give you exact markers of where everything is, it just gives you a kind of rough estimate. So we know that 253 is going to be just before the bunker, but we know we can drive more than that, so if we drive more than that, it's probably going to hit the bunker, right? So what we're actually going to do is we're going to just put a wee touch of draw. Right, you can play it here, that's where you want to land, but let's have a look at our view. View is going to be impacted by the trees, right? So we need to take it out knowing that our view is going to be all right and add 2 touches, a draw. So if we play here, hopefully our ball should land roughly about here. So we need to give that, we need to give it its space, we need to give it its room, but look at that wind as well, right? So let's see. I'm not great at draws and fades, right? But when I pull them off well, they're good, right? So you need to make sure you get a straightish shot on this, as much as you can, and not let me. Okay, so we might end up in the rough here, which is fine, or the bunker. So we're in the bunker, cool, right? So I never gave that enough, right? And that was also part to do with my swing from going left to right. Okay, so here we are, bunker 85 to 93. And would I say 83 to 91, right? So that was flop shots, right? So you can see the kind of rough estimate, right? So we're only 1 or 2%, so it's not going to make a massive effect here, right? But I've not noted down fairway bunkers to play out of because I'm going to show you what this means. So in here, you can play your sand wedge out. You can do whatever needs be for this, but realistically, you're just going to be hitting the ball as close as you can, right? You shouldn't really be anywhere near fairway bunkers. If you are, just play it out like you normally would, but it's not going to be a massive impact. I wasn't going to spend 2 hours doing a bit of research on something which you're only going to play once a hole, maybe, if that, right? So if it's 83 to 91, we're probably going to be roughly about, let's say, 10% less on everything, right? So if we've got 185 to the green and it's up 7 feet, that's going to be an extra 2 yards, so it plays 177 yards. Then with the wind 4 miles an hour, let's say that's because it's at a slight angle, let's say it's 3, right? So if we've then got to add an extra 3 yards onto that, so 170, 567, so it's about 180. Let's add an extra 10% onto that. So what did we say? 180 is 198. So 198 is roughly what it's going to be playing at, right? But 198 we've not really got a club for. Okay, so if we look at a hybrid, let's go to our chart. A hybrid club normally is 192 to 206. Fully lofted up is 190 to 203. And 195 to 211 fully lofted down, right? So I'm just looking at these. What did I say? 180. What was that? 6, 7, and 3. 80. 98. Just trying to work 198. Right. You know what? Let's do a 5 hybrid with max loft. Okay, it's max loft coming up. I'm going to talk about lie angles hopefully in the next hole, right? But you can see here that the ball's actually, it's in a dodgy bit because it's nearly at the bottom of the V, but it's slightly playing above our feet. So we need to take that into consideration. If the ball's playing above your feet, you can actually follow the wee arrows going down. That's roughly going to be the direction of the ball, so it's going to go right to left. If it's below your feet, it's going to go left to right. So we just need to make sure we're moving that slightly over that way. So let's just play it. We never reached, right? So the sand does have a massive effect, right? So again, that's something that you're going to need to get used to. So 23 yards is what we need to overall play. So let's say you're going to add an extra 3 on, so about 26. Okay, so there's your sand wedge with maxed, flop maxed is 27, right? So let's go to a sand wedge, flop shot, and we're going max. Let's look at lie angle, pretty straight, but we're kind of, the ball's going to be going away from us, right? So let's see what happens here. Lovely, right? So even though our aim was off, we've got a distance right. Straight putt, okay? So just a wee bit of work is going to help, right? So I've not played amazing there, but I'm sitting at 2 under. Now we're going to the last one, which is a par 3. I took shots off the tee to see if there was any difference. So taking the shot off the tee compared to taking them off the fairway, there wasn't a mass amount, but what there was maybe a slight difference in distance, right? And there was definitely a difference when you were adding loft on. When you're adding loft onto a tee shot, you seem to be getting a wee bit more spin on it, right? Which obviously you would do because you're getting right under the ball, but it's not massive, so I never made a note yet. There was so much I could do. There was so much, but I just stuck to the 3 main components: your standard shots, your rough shots, and your bunker shots. That's all. It's going to be the ones that you're focusing on, right? So, right, let's see. Wind 3 mile an hour. It's going left to right. We don't really need to bother about it, right? So 111 yards is what the overall distance is going to be. So that's what it is to the pin. So 111 yards and it's up 1. It's not going to make a difference, right? Let's just say it's 111 yards. Let's look and see what we can go. Because a gap wedge is 116, but a gap wedge full shot is going to be too much. That's well off the bat. It's, you know, well over the flag. So what is it, 111? So a gap wedge with max plus is exactly 111, right? So I'm looking at the chart here. So 111 yards is going to be for a gap wedge with max loft going up, right? But before we hit our shot, zoom into the green and let's see what's going on. So we know we're going to land at about 108, so it's going to land roughly about here, and it's slightly going uphill just a wee bit, right? So that tells me that probably what I want to do is not take it full max, because if it hits that hill, it's going to do what it done on the previous hole and bounce back slightly, right? So now let's get it aiming. So we're at 2 mile an hour, tailwind. So just slightly moved over. This isn't the basis that you're going to get a perfect shot, which hopefully you do, but I know I won't, right? And it's now 2 mile an hour. 2 mile an hour then now tells me that I'm going to now take it full max. So what is it? Just to make sure, gap wedge, max. Let's just hit it. Right, so I'm left to right. All I'm interested in is distance. And distance was spot on, but we caught the side of the green. So if your swing's really, really good, this is where it's working. So 6 yards, right? And I'll be honest, I didn't do much about chips. I might cover it because chips it's a bit of a bug in my life. They don't seem to be consistent enough, plus there's too many variables in the green to start taking into consideration chips. But let's have a look. Right, so we're going to go 6 yards. So we need to look at chip shots. Chip shots start from 7 iron downwards. Okay, so the lowest one that we've got is a 10 yard with a 17 yard rollout, okay? But we've also still got our lofting, right? When you're chipping with the ball and you add a high amount of loft, it stops quick. Really does stop quick, right? You're also on fairway, which is just a wee bit less than a full power, right? Who loves me this time of night? That's an email, right? But let's look at the green. So just like putting, you're probably going to land it about the second line, between the second and third line back from the pin. That's roughly going to be the lie, where it's going to land. And you've just got to take it over to allow that bend for the green, right? So what I'm going to do is I can see that our lob wedge chip shot's 10 yards with a rollout of, would say, 17, far too much. Even the actual carries 10 yards, it's too much, right? So what you can do, add high loft and try and control your distance, right? So when you come back, just pull it, don't pull it forward, but just hold it back. That's the maximum it's got to be. So realistically, you want to land it, you want to stop the ball and swing forward at about here, right? So about here, you want to push it forward, right? And do that. Pull it back very, very slowly. Then release forward, right? Cuff, right? Because we've got a very, very slow. But that's what you want it to do, okay? So when you're doing it in your next shot, at the side of the green for chipping, take it back as much as you can and bring it down. If you're under 10 yards, I'm more likely to take a putter. So if you ever watch any of my games and it's under 10 yards, you'll probably see me take a putter on the green. Even if it's just on fringe, it's more than likely going to be a putter, okay? So I'm just going to play this normal. So right to left, visualise it. Is the first line going? So I take my first line and I think, right, that's probably about okay. Second line comes into play. See, you can actually see that I'm imagining it going round. Right? And then we do it overall, and if need be, you come back in. Get different angles. You can even try coming round this way. That doesn't, I'm not a fan of that, I don't know why. On, is it WGT or whatever it's called, you know, the wee mini clip game or something? No mini clip, the wee phone game, I do that. Seems to be a better putting angle with that. Okay. So I'm going to hit the ball up that way, visualise it. This becomes a lot quicker, by the way, you do get used to that. Okay, I think it's going to be about okay. I think that's probably going to be about right. Maybe just a wee bit down. No, got instinct, Andy. And it's playing 15. So we're going to hit roughly a 15 putt. Lovely. Now, So again, that's a bad swing. So apart from that, we still parred that, even though we had that bad chip, right? So we're sitting at -2, right? So this isn't hard, right? I'm actually giving you the answers. I just need to know that you can do the sum correctly, if you want to put it like that. I'm just going to play this hole, right, without talking. I'll talk you through what I'm doing, right, and I'll use a yardage chart to see, right, and then this is how I work it. Right, so hole 4, 261 par 4 stroke index 9, right, so potentially I can drive this if needs be, but I'm not going to, okay. Right, so 4 yards is going to kill it off a wee bit. Oh, it's a poor swing, felt that. But it's alright, these clubs are so forgiving, so forgiving. Right, so we have got 81 yards left, up 1, not going to make a difference. First of all, check your landing zone. It's okay. Want it to be a wee bit more because of that downhill. 4 mile an hour, so we need to add 4 on. Right, so it's playing about 84. A lob wedge with max. Right, so you've got different ways of getting there. You can get there with a maxed lob wedge loft. You can get there with where was it, a pitch shot it was saying? Yeah, you can get there with a pitch 9 iron. You can get there with, I guess a couple other ones. Yeah. Right, so it's like guitar, you can get the note different places in the guitar, but it's whatever you want to do. Bear in mind, the higher the loft, the more the wind's going to affect it. So a pitch shot with a 9 iron might be better here, but I'm taking the wind into consideration, a full loft here, right? So I'm going to do, what did I say, it was 84, so it was a lob wedge with max, right? So it's going to be a full normal shot lob wedge, max loft, slightly that way, and that wind should hopefully bring it down. So we've now dropped to 2, so we're probably going to be a wee bit over the flag here. Right, and I've pulled it just a wee bit to the right. Look at that. Lovely. Right, so quite decent. Right, and here's me working out my. So I'm going off for 6. I'm not going off for 9. I'm going off for 6 because that's what my swing's going to be. See, if you've got quite a severe slope, you don't want to be hitting 6. You want to realistically be hitting that about 10 because you want to try and take out as much sting. What you don't want to do is the boat start slowing down just like real golf and then trickling heavily away. Right, so you want to try and pace it into the hole, but again, I miss on that, so you need to be confident. So. Oh, I missed it at the top there. That was because I was probably a wee bit too confident, putting a wee bit too much on it. So it ran out of 12. Right, these are the ones that I really miss. I don't give enough on it. I made sure of that. So, there's an par. I hope that's been useful at all. The wind is going to be the one that's going to throw you off the most, right? Because it's so uncontrollable. You don't know, especially with a side wind, how much it's going to affect the ball. To be honest, you just get used to it, right? You get used to knowing how the wind's going to affect it and how far you need to move it over. But as a rule of thumb, if you've got a headwind or a tailwind, that 1 mile an hour for one yard is roughly okay. But use my wee graph. It's going to help you get closer to the hole, hopefully. But again, it comes down to swing. So if you're missing left and right, it's probably usually down to swing. But if you know you're missing it left or you know you're missing it right, just like golf, aim that way until you get used to it, until you get better. Because if you know that you're going to carry that distance consistently, then all you need to do is work on the aim. It takes that out of it. So yeah, hopefully that's been okay. Give us a like. It's no going to make you play wonders, but aye, should be alright. So give us a like, give us a subscribe, head out to my socials, let me know if there's anything else you want to see in part 3. Can't remember what I'm planned for part 3. 2 seconds, I'll just move the laptop. What did I say? What did I say? Part 3 were actually, it was more once you're down the line. We're going to be looking into what the TGC tours online is. We're also going to be looking into maybe trying pro clubs. We're also going to be looking into trying the PGA tour, right? But before we do any of that, I'm just going to go on and do a wee bit more about chipping and putting, right? Try and get that nailed in for you. I don't know what it is, man. The minute I hit that record button, I get so gassy and my throat goes. Stage fright, innit? Right, so I hope you've enjoyed anyway, and I hope it helps, and we'll take it from there. So yeah, see you next time, and enjoy yourselves, and let me know how you got on anyway. Let me know how your first round is, or your first round with using this technique is, or using the graph is, and hopefully it works out. But if it doesn't, don't blame me. Well, you can blame me if you watch, don't care. I'll just tell you, Bolt. Let's go start my finger up here, but I realise I'm on YouTube and there's Kiddie Winkle's watching. I hope there's not. That's pure weird. Don't watch a grown adult, go watch Wayne's or something. Go watch Roblox videos. Right. Catch you. Okay. Right. Cheers, bye. Cheers, bye. Cheers. Sorry, hold on, I'm going to say it again. Right, thanks for watching. Okay, bye.